Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to the Outer Worlds. Now, we got a lot done in the last stream, and we're about to make a very big decision here, I think, in this stream when we head over to the Geothermal Plant. But before we do that, we're going to go have a chat with Reed Thompson. We learned some very interesting things about Adelaide and her unconventional farming techniques. So I think it's time that we head over to Reed and see his side of the story. And just see what he has to say. I like the fact that we're both dressed as raiders, too. I don't know. Maybe shift.
If you could see your way to getting us our power back, I'd appreciate it.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
Go ahead.
Have you taken a look around your town lately?
It is my job to keep two eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post.
And how long exactly have you worked here, Reed?
I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the veil will always be here. Spacer's choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that.
You do know your town is falling to pieces, right?
I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
It doesn't make it any less true.
I expect you wouldn't understand. You don't see the town as I do. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do.
So you consider yourself loyal to Spacer's Choice?
This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude.
The core is mother, the core is father. Hey, Kath.
Go ahead.
So what makes you think I can convince those deserters to come back?
That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathe the people of Edgewater, you see. I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town.
You do know that sometimes people move on. It's the way of things.
Scripture tells us we all have our purpose in the world. Our work shows us that purpose. We should not have to move on from it. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders and carry on.
So you and Adelaide have a personal history?
Losing Adelaide was the hardest. She was our only flavor specialist. When she walked away, I knew we were in trouble. Spacer's Choice Salt Tuna is renowned across the system for its quality flavors and additives. We used to sell citrus-flavored salt tuna in our heyday. Ever since Adelaide left, we have been reduced to selling unflavored and spearmint. Go ahead.
You do seem pretty fixed, though, on bringing Adelaide back to town.
Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible.
Don't you people eat anything other than salt tuna?
Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with saltuna galore. No other brand of saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, saltuna is hard to come by, what with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world.
Hang on. So what are you canning here exactly?
Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms. Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of saltuna. The difference is all but impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate. Go ahead.
We need to have a word about this plague, Reed.
Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up.
How long has this plague been happening?
That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent.
You should have developed an immunity after repeated exposure to a single strain of contagion.
Corporate doesn't like us using the word should. It encourages the imagination. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude, and it is one we will see through to the end.
So, what's this about you withholding medicine from your own workers?
If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose.
Hey, Lilani. You let Adelaide's son die.
Adelaide's son was barely competent. I treat him with our medical rations, and it looks like I'm playing favorites. Now, I will not pretend to understand the suffering Adelaide must have felt on account of losing her child, but she is not the only one to have felt such suffering. I wish she had stayed with us. Adelaide left us when we needed her most. Go ahead.
I think I should be going now. Interesting. Alright, well, we got it from Reed's side. And Reed's side was pretty garbage, as I expected. However, I do believe there's a way for everyone to get what they want, if I remember correctly. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to go ahead and fast travel. R to zoom. Actually, let's go ahead and leave Edgewater first. We should be in pretty good shape loot-wise. Help the chairman and Minister Clark defeat our foes! And I guess we'll head to the geothermal plant now. Because we were able to get, what's-her-name, back to the deserters. We need to get a robot part for Ludwig. And we've got that other engineering manual we need to grab. And I believe all of those things are currently over at the geothermal plant. Yeah, we should be good. I don't think we have a whole lot of loot currently. Yeah, no junk. We're as good a shape as we can be. And I believe... Okay, there's the Marauder hideout. And apparently I am near a hostel. Not a hostel, but a hostile. There we go. Is there something trying to kill me? I don't think so. Okay, there we go. To the geothermal plant. Da-la-la-la. Chair's working out good. I actually have a scissor arm coming tomorrow, so I'll be able to get that set up here on the desk. The coffee can will be retired, and we should be rocking and rolling. That way I'll actually be able to, like, sit like this and have the mic, like, relatively close by, so I can actually rest my back some. Ah, yes. Such a lovely, lovely abode. We got all kinds of robots hanging out here. I'm trying to remember how we got past here the last time. We got an office? Aha! This is what we did.
Sister, search.
That's the last of them.
Yes, indeed. Alright, our first robot, we have turned to cinders. Got some thugs. Remember, we need to conserve our energy ammo, for sure. And watch out for landmines. Hey, Umbridge! We got a scientist. We're going to clear the grounds around here first, before we go in. Leave no stone unturned. Oh, there's another path we could go through. Well, that's kind of nifty. Wait a minute. I saw... Got some good mods here.
Nice.
Getting some profitable gear right off the bat. Excellent. Okay, force field on this side. Sentry's got a sentry. Advanced defensive helmet. Ooh. And elite troop armor. If we find the medium equivalent to that, we'll be in good shape.
Linux perform.
Oh,
Hello!
everyone all right?
We're fine. What could go wrong?
Unexpected noise. I'm just searching for unauthorized.
Here they
person.
come.
Woo! Yeah, drones. And weak spots. We need to pay attention to every single place they fall. Just because that's how we're going to get our energy cells back.
Halt. Begin. Can't stop.
Coming.
Z, thank you very much for that, host. Getting a lot of armor parts, too. Pardon me. Hello. I went ahead and let Parvati have that one. Well, it looks like we have two different paths that we can take, if we feel so inclined. I do want to head into that little kind of gate area before we do anything else.
Can't stop the signal now.
And Umbridge, thank you for the host as well. Ooh. we are going to have a lot to salvage. We're going to have to do that while we're here, because I know we're going to run out of stuff eventually. Power plant security terminal. We will disarm the fences. Error. Security logs inaccessible. In keeping with Spacer's Choice Company policy, all security logs have been terminated in the event of a major emergency, catastrophic event, or security breach. Scheduled security updates at this Spacer's Choice facility are critically overdue. Your last scheduled security update occurred on error, date not found. If you are a member of the Spacer's Choice security detail assigned to this location, please turn in your identification for immediate reprimand. Failure to do so may result in an immediate reprimand. Well, cool. I didn't really care that much, but what kind of armor did we get? I saw ordnance control armor. A little bit better than what we are currently rocking. Let's go ahead and put that on. Yeah. And I think ordnance control. Yeah, we are built for riot protection, guys. In terms of Parvati, let's go ahead and get her set up in some elite troop armor with accompanied helmet. Look at that, very bounty hunterish. I'm a fan. Now, are there any other buildings we can go into before we actually head into the plant? Give me some Willy Wonka vibes there. Got a vendor. Lots of dead scientists. Laboratory outfit splash resistant. We want to take the science route. Yeah, I remember too, the nooks and crannies are numerous. I think we're in good shape here, though. Let's just head through the front door. I know we got that side door, but meh. Science might be good for sneaking. Well, remember that these guys killed all the scientists, if I recall correctly. So, I'll see that moon guy in my nightmares. From the planet to your living room. You can be both admired and feared by the same faction. I dig that. See, this is lovely. Found another vending machine.
The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
See, there's the side door.
Halt. Security.
Incoming! You did it! He took one down!
Yeah, we're good. Just need to hit that sweet spot is all. Alright, pathway up here, I believe, leads to a nifty office. Now, we could actually change our ammo to do shock damage. Then we'd be doing so much more damage to these guys. But I think our pistol is sufficient for this. We do have some drones, though. From Spacer's Choice. To J. Braden. Miss Braden, this letter serves as an informal notification of our company's displeasure toward your management of the Emerald Vale Geothermal Plant, for reasons related to exceeding your staff budget in your last quarterly report. Please select 5 subordinates to be dismissed immediately. Additionally, please contact our office to schedule your official reprimand at your earliest convenience. Failure to schedule your official reprimand will result in an official reprimand. The Spacer's Choice family would like to collectively remind you that working for Spacer's Choice is not a right, but a privilege. No need for a reprimand. To the esteemed members of the Emerald Vale Development and Oversight Committee, I hope this letter finds you wealthy. After due consideration of your last letter, I have identified and terminated no fewer than 5 subordinates who are unable to provide sufficient justification for their ongoing employment. I would like to remind the Oversight Committee that while most of Emerald Vale has failed to meet its production and output quotas, particularly our agriculture and fishing/canning departments, neither of which are anywhere close to profitable, the Emerald Vale Geothermal Plant remains committed to providing cheap, cost-efficient power to the entire region. Regards, Juno Braden. Miss Braden, we have investigated the claims made against the profitability of the greater Emerald Vale region. Our offices agree with you. Agriculture and fishing/canning have experienced a steady decline, while the Emerald Vale Geothermal Plant remains somewhat profitable. Our offices are currently investigating ways to implement additional cost-saving measures, which will ultimately lead to a leaner, more streamlined, more efficient geothermal power plant. Please be informed that the Spacer's Choice Development and Oversight Office has taken a significant insurance policy against the Emerald Vale Geothermal Plant. The office would like to assure you that this insurance policy is standard procedure. Do not attempt to interpret, understand, or otherwise extrapolate meaning from this decision. As a special courtesy, we have deployed a proprietary team of engineering specialists to the Emerald Vale Geothermal Plant. This team of specialists has been instructed to refit and upgrade the plant's population of automechanicals, free of charge. Thank you for your cooperation. What could go wrong? Ooh.
Oh, clever.
Light ammo, that was not worth what I spent on it. It's okay, though. Where's that one drone that's been buzzing around here? Ooh. Pet pills. Purged. Purged incomplete. 2 files available. I had to borrow your copy of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering. Radio's been sputtering and I need the reference. I've returned the copy to the repair bay. Chaos everywhere. Mechanical's gone haywire. Gunfire. Hearing some screams. Oh law, I think that was someone's leg. Would like to leave early for the day. Please deduct a delinquency fee from my pay. Thank you. Proud to be a member of the Spacer's Choice family. I don't think he made it. If that headshot is to be believed.
Coming! Wow, great work!
Nothing from the drone. Now, the generator, if memory serves, is this way, and Parvati said that as well. Just wanting to make sure that we have found everything else that we can here. Dervish mist and such. Because I remember this area was actually pretty huge. Right, this just takes us to the side entrance. Yep. We're good. Checking to see. Ooh. He tried to hide. It's a good hiding spot, too. Tell you the God's honest. Alright, shift. Master Control Terminal. Plant status. This access report brought to you by Spacer's Choice. Operating at 22% efficiency. Power is currently being distributed to Edgewater Saltuna Cannery and the Botanical Laboratory. Warning, structural damage detected. Please notify your designated supervisor. Safety failures detected. High likelihood of moderate to severe structural damage. Redirecting power is an irreversible procedure. Power redirection function has failed. Manual override required. Please activate all 3 electrical track switches. Alrighty. So let's go shoot.
3 switches. That'll be easy enough.
Yeah, it'll be so easy. The amount of easy that it is beyond understanding. Oh, I thought you were about to get shot, little guy. I don't have enough for that. Yeah. S. Tanaka, Chief of Security. Chester Higgins again, that hull head. Found him fiddling around with one of the mechanicals, so I had to write him up for tampering with company property. Just in case I'm reading this a couple of days from now and feeling bad about what I've done, let me just remind myself that I've warned him before. It's always been a little crooked in the skull. He was working on some logic module. I confiscated it. Should be in my lockaway room for the foreseeable future. This doesn't sit right with me. The company's been replacing our guards with auto mechanicals. At this rate, I'm going to end up Chief of Security with no staff. Just a small army of mechanicals knocking about, guns pointed every which way. The company tells us they're safe. Programmed to treat us humans like their own. People are liable to break down, but an auto mechanical never will. I don't know. Doesn't sit right with me, but the company's never been wrong before, I suppose. Worst has happened. Mechanical's gone crazy. Locked myself down here, just trying to gather my courage. Gonna make a mad dash for the control room. Might be able to shut things down. I'll lead this entry if I ever return. Greetings, Security Chief S. Tanaka. This is an automated message initiated by Spacer's Choice Worker Safety Contingency Protocols. A security lockdown has been initiated. This is not a test. Your behavior during this lockdown will be reviewed during your quarterly audit. Anxiety is a common side effect of life-threatening situations engendered by security lockdowns. Fight back against anxiety with an ice-cold bottle of Zero G Brew. Zero G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you. Do we have a passcode? Hey! Welcome, Mr. Thompson. Now, did that open this one? Apparently not, but I think that we do get that a little bit later. We just have to find it. Let's hold off on opening any of these special ones. Loot the bodies? Okay, this is the shortcut.
Tom! Oh, look at us!
Yeah, look at us. Bit cartridge. Sweet, sweet monies. And there is a body over here. If this blood smear was not a clue. Anyone else up here we need to be aware of? No? Okay. Let's go. Yay for sweet spots. Okay, we've got broken down vending machines. I'm trying to remember where everything is here. So we'll just try and do this systematically.
Just two more. What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Vale? Yeah, huh?
You know, I know this is not exactly the proper place for it, but Thomas seemed very fond of you.
He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda.
You know, I've not lately seen a man with a bigger or more obvious crush.
I'm just glad he's alive. That he's okay. I mean, when Mr. Thompson said he was fired, we all expected the worst. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants. I'd like to do that for him.
Well, I did notice you mention your dad a lot, but never really your mother. Why is that?
That's on account of how I never met her.
I've asked you this before. I'm sorry.
It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kid
We already heard this part.
could...
You mentioned something earlier that I wanted to ask you about.
In the bar? When I asked if you were a drinker?
You sounded a bit worried.
Sorry. I know, it's none of my business.
I'm going to guess you're not a drinker yourself?
Strong drink makes me sick. And it makes me real sad. I start thinking about things I oughtn't, and then... Well, never mind that. You got better things to think on. Sorry.
So Parvati is a tears in my beer kind of drinker. Well, if you ever want to talk about it, I'll be happy to listen.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything.
Okie dokie. Oh, we've got that area down there. Lovely. Can't wait. Right, control armor. Hope Parvati becomes a crew member. Oh, I think that's pretty much a given. She's going to be our Kaylee. Now, do we head... I think... Well, we can always come back.
Get away!
Uh-oh. Well,
You're not real. You're not real.
he's down here at the bottom, I remember. Now, is there a mechanical that we need to open fire on?
Go away, Phantom.
There's a nice creepy music box.
Get away!
No, you're fine, Lilani, promise. Biotics cream.
You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot. Scram.
You know, you need to calm down. I'm not trying to hurt you.
You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
How about you slow down and tell me what's going on?
Clearly, I mistook you for one of the phantoms of my imagination, which terrorized me on occasion. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
How long have you been down here?
Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a touch fuzzy these days.
Uh-huh. And what exactly do you do here?
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
You've been surviving all this time?
Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides.
This place looks like it's been abandoned for a while. What happened?
Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium.
And you weren't killed?
I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
You mentioned something about being an engineer.
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries. Repaired them, maintained, upgraded. Did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
Well, if you worked on these mechanicals, you must know a way to stop them, right?
Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
We need to introduce this guy to Ludwig. You know, I could deal with the mechanicals. I made it this far, didn't I?
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead.
Well, mechanicals follow the behavior of their logic module. Someone tampered with it.
Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
And any idea where I could find a logic module while I'm at it?
Funny thing, I was working on a logic module just before the mayhem started. Security chief found me and confiscated the logic module.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to ask you something, Higgins.
The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy.
No, what happened to this place?
Mechanicals lost their bolts.
Oh, Oh, we already answered all these, okay.
I was on cleaning duty
Hey,
at the
Greenleaf.
time. My old...
Now, before we go do anything else, I believe one of the things that we're looking for should be close by. Bam. Alright, there's our last bit on engineering. So let's go ahead and check all the floors here. I know there's nothing over here. We might as well go this way and deal with one of the switches. Can't go through there yet.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Oh, wish we could have just jumped there. That would have been nice.
Everyone all right?
And we're good. Keep one of the mechanicals. We already have Jeremy. Okay, shut off the steam valves. Is officially a go. Ooh. Okay, so we got a workbench here, which is nice. That leads into that other room that we currently can't go into. But the important thing is that we have a workbench. So if we get over encumbered, we can just head over here and break. Actually, let's go ahead and break down some of our stuff now while we can. You want to Edgar? Let's do breakdown. Pickaxe. So uncivilized. Naginata. Riot control. I think we're pretty good in the stuff that we have. I'm going to keep the laboratory outfit just for the crack. We already got armor there. Alright, I think that'll help out a lot. Let us head up here. There's another door we can go through.
Want to go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the veil?
Why,
hello, hello.
System. Sweeping
Here they
the
come!
area. Wow.
Grab that armor! I hit!
Sweeping the area.
Get past that armor! Cut him off! Incoming!
Very dead. Plant worker, and I believe this is going to be a shortcut to take us back to the entryway. But before we do that, let's...
Investigate it.
Watch out!
Reprogram the auto mechanicals. Okay. Why did that go away? Unless I just killed all the auto mechanicals. I'm completely okay with that if that's what happened here. Right? And we're back. Cool. Now we can go ahead and travel to that other area that we couldn't before. And I think this is going to lead... It's all connected.
That's the last. I'm not sure what the right is. All I know is the decision's final.
You are definitely correct about that, Parvati. Okay. So let's head... We are not done here. This is the upper area. I believe there's some... Oh, I thought there were mechanicals in here. I was mistaken. I guess that would make sense because all of them should be dead. Oh, there's the security chief's card. Modify behavior. Select new target. Define intruders. Spacer's choice auto mechanicals. Alright, well, doesn't really matter all that much, but they should now be very much dead. We got the card. Let's see. What is this way? I believe it's just a ramp going down. Yepers. Oh.
Self-diagnostics complete. Navigation systems operational.
Oh, it's our boy!
Combat systems operational. It's not the best choice. It's the spacer's choice.
Ah, well, you made it out of that junkyard.
All systems fully operational. Return journey successfully completed. Spacer's Choice would like to thank you for complying with your duties.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about, Lilani. The one who was watching all the serials. Well, this is a bit odd. Why aren't you attacking me?
Hostile actions towards Spacer's Choice mechanics are contrary to logical directive. Conclusion: all hostile automechanicals must be defective in compliance with Spacer's Choice policy. All defective automechanicals must be permanently dismantled. Please allow me to assist.
So let me get this straight. You want to help me destroy other mechanicals?
Affirmative. Mechanicide protocols loaded. Awaiting confirmation.
Confirmation granted. I like the sound of that. So, since we've already killed everything, I believe that Jeremy's just going to patrol this area. So, that's cool. Corporate just sent a team of technicians to conduct a complete refit of all of our mechanicals. Every sentry and drone. It's not my place to say so, but this doesn't run doesn't this run contrary to the Spacer's Choice mission of being as cheap as possible? Well, just in case I'm audited, I would like to formally express how grateful I am to be a part of the Spacer's Choice family. Spacer's Choice is the leading brand in affordable sundry across Halcyon. It's not the best choice, it's the Spacer's Choice. Just finished a routine maintenance of our mechanical sentries. I found some strange modifications to their logic modules. I haven't had time to run a diagnostic, so I don't know what's been modified. All I know is that these modifications were introduced in our recent refit. The company went through the trouble of refitting every single mechanical in the plant not too long ago. Guessing this was the work of those visiting technicians. I filed a report, but my supervisor told me not to worry about it. Said the company knew what it was doing. Ordered me to forget about any alleged modifications to the logic modules. Decided to do a little bit of sleuthing by my own self. Got my hands on a logic module. Time to do a little experimentation. So, essentially, Spacer's Choice murdered everyone here in the plant. Now, remember, they said they took out a healthy insurance policy before they did it, despite the fact that this was like the only profitable business that they had on the planet. So it makes you kind of wonder, like, what is their motivation? What's this all about? We're going to head back down to Higgins and let him know that all the robots are dead, except for Jeremy. Allegedly murdered, that's right. Excuse me. Higgins!
What's eating you? The tail.
Okay, there's
Forgot.
nothing to say. That's true, they don't take criticism well, but are they really that level of petty? I guess probably would be the answer, but hopefully we'll find out. So, considering all that we've discovered about Spacer's Choice, you may be curious as to what direction I'm going to do. Now, when we first played the first part of this game during Extra Life Game Day, we went with Adelaide and ended up killing Reed Thompson. I'm going to let you guys know that I have something else in mind. But it's going to say, you're going to be like, what are you doing? But I believe it's going to work. Aha! There's the corrupted logic module for Ludwig. Shears. A ring for the precious.
Great work.
Wow, just heavy ammo. We just wasted a ton of our stuff. It's alright, though. And we can still run.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
Well, I wouldn't mind hearing your opinion.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
But you see, the deserters are a community as well. I can't just destroy what they built.
Miss McDevitt's been using corpses in her fertilizer. The thought just makes my skin crawl. Sure, she's found a solution, but it ain't exactly pleasant. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
Well, Reed does tell me that Edgewater's gonna die without workers in power.
That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
Another interesting thing is when we cut off the power and went back to Edgewater and found everything shut down, that room that had all the sick people was completely locked down, so they were trapped inside. So Edgewater definitely suffers. I see your point. I think I'm ready to make a decision.
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
Well, I'm glad you did. I like hearing from you.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Well, don't let it go to your head now. We are going to redirect power. And we are going to go ahead and continue. And we have a choice, redirect power to Edgewater or the Botanical Laboratory. And what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and redirect power to Edgewater. Believe me, I have found there is a way for everyone to get what they've wanted. Oh, we got to retrieve the power regulator, which is... Oh yeah, we got to go back and grab it. The alarm gave you a heart attack? Woo! So we've doomed every one of the deserters. Or have we? That's what we're going to have to find out. Sorry for the lag also, by the way, guys. The internet's kind of going up and down. So hopefully it'll fix itself here soon. The alarm had a virus. It's that Cyberdyne. Alright. Well, everything is dead around here, so let's go ahead and fast travel to the Botanical Lab, where I'm sure that we will get, such a warm welcome. Probably not. We'll probably be shot on sight by the lady in the cowboy hat with the rifle. Tell you what, we just breezed through that, didn't we? I like it. Oh. And everything is shut down. There's Grace. At least the water's still flowing. It is the warmest welcome in the Vale. Absolutely. That'd be a good time to go ahead and steal everything. Haha! Just had to wait for her to leave.
Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
Fair enough.
One of us want to go see what happened?
I've got to
Food's bound to spoil at this rate.
turn in quests.
Marauders can't see us in the dark. Wild canids, on the other hand.
Well, at least I talked Zoe into coming back.
We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
Something about wanting to be an outlaw. I'd rather not get into it.
You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
I'll go ahead and leave you be. Where's our buddy? There he is. I'd look for the... No?
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
All these things about wits. Oh, there's Thomas.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead.
Well, today's your lucky day, Thomas. I've got another one of those engineering manuals that maybe you can fix this.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Oh, the elusive Part 3. Someone stashed it away inside the old geothermal plant. Not that I was there doing anything. You can't prove it, but that's where I found it.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there?
Thank you.
Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati. I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
Electrocharged surface. Well, thank you, Thomas. I should go. Oh, woot! Skills to pay the bills. Alright, our dialogue and our defense are pretty good. Let's go ahead and pump up the range and the tech. Actually, hold on a second. Can we... 45. 35. 30. I like keeping things somewhat equal. I don't know why. Let's revert. Let's do 5 in range and 5 in tech. And then we can even it out a little bit later. All right, not looking forward to this. Where's our vendor friend at?
I know, I'm trying to think.
Because all of them should just be hanging out here.
What happened? Sprat fell into a
Oh, there's
transformer
Stefan.
again?
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands. Nothing. With the power gone, we've got to conserve our supplies.
Oh. Okay, so the store is closed here now. And I'm not seeing Adelaide. Oh, there she is. Hello, Adelaide.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
Oh man, I don't know what to tell her. Well, this isn't personal, Adelaide. I need your power regulator.
You killed my garden, destroyed my community, sentenced my flock to a lifetime of slavery in Edgewater for a power regulator. Well, shit, I wish it was personal. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
You know, I'm willing to deal with Reed for you.
You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same 4 walls together.
Reed isn't just going to leave his post, so I'll need some help convincing him.
Tell him what I have already told you. That I know the secret to bringing life back to the soil. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
So what exactly is going to happen when you run out of corpses, though, Adelaide?
Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty. Enough for a generation's worth of crops.
Well, that's enough talk. Alright, looks like the stream has... It went down, but it's kicking back up, guys. Hopefully. Allegedly. There we go. Alright. So for those of you who may have missed what was going on, we offered to deal with Reed Thompson ourselves. So let's go ahead and... We did grab the power regulator, didn't we? No, we did not. Yoink. So, what are we doing here? Frightened engineer. Convince the deserters to return. Remove Reed from Edgewater. Okay.
Hope Adelaide's okay. Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all.
Well, you know you won't survive without power. So it's time to go back to Edgewater. Wait, hold on a sec. Is this the main thing, part of it? Her people will follow her back to town if she returns. Alright, so we're going to ignore them for right now. We know if Adelaide decides to go, the others will follow. So let's go ahead and actually save our game. And then we will go ahead and travel back to Edgewater and have a heart-to-heart with Mr. Reed and see what happens. And I'm sorry, guys, my upload is all over the place right now. So we just got to try and make the best of what we got. So we'll see what happens. It's trying. So we're going to have to use all of our powers of persuasion here.
If you're falling sick, I don't want you near me.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna pass.
So apparently this is the option where you can kind of have your cake and eat it too, without shutting down everything.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
I spoke to Adelaide, Reed. She ain't gonna come back so long as you're here.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town.
You let Adelaide's son die.
Her son got sick with plague a couple years back. Company never gave us enough medication to treat the whole town. So I had to choose, you see. Adelaide's child or someone else's. She's never forgiven me. I don't expect she ever will.
You know, you say you've done your best, but all I see is a town falling to pieces.
I have been holding this town together with both hands. You can't just expect me to leave. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Oh, we could just go ahead and shoot him and go, well, we tried. Adelaide's people aren't getting sick with plague anymore, Reed.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
You know this town doesn't eat anything but salt tuna. Of course you're gonna get sick.
You are disparaging our parent company, and it is not appreciated. We are a Spacer's Choice salt tuna cannery. We eat salt tuna here, and only salt tuna.
I'm pretty sure it's your food that's making you sick, Reed. You need Adelaide's garden.
I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse.
Well, Adelaide's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down.
You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
She's growing her crops with a special kind of fertilizer.
And when you say special fertilizer, you mean what exactly?
Corpses. Mostly human.
Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's... Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance. What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery.
This town needs Adelaide, Reed. And she ain't gonna come back so long as you're here.
So Adelaide wants me gone. Trade my life for the life of the town. You understand what she's doing. If I leave town, I'm as good as dead. If I stay, Edgewater will die of attrition. Adelaide has discovered some secret cure for the plague, and she is holding my town ransom.
Looks to me this town could use all the help it could get, Reed.
If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
So what exactly are your plans now, Reed?
A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
Why not?
No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement.
You won't last a day outside the walls, you know?
I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week.
Well, I know this can't be easy for you.
I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
Well, you take care, Reed. All right. We got it. I would like to shoot Reed and get his key. But I'm not sure if killing him is going to, like, ruin what we've done.
I think you did the rightest thing you could, sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for. Even if they ain't care much for me.
Well, nice to know we got Parvati's approval on this. Okay, so now we go ahead and leave Edgewater one more time. We travel back to the deserters camp. Let Adelaide know that she and her people can go ahead and come back now that Reed is no longer in the picture. And she'll probably start, I would hope, like, terraforming the Vale and making food without having to rely on salt tuna. There's nothing that says that they can't have a little bit of both, you know? It's good to have diversified crops, diversified assets. So I guess we'll see. See, the dogs agree. Okay. Back. Apparently I am still near hostels. There we go. See, like that, I'd love that. Terror on Monarch. With Ruth Bellamy and Halcyon as Halcyon Helen, and Spencer Woolrich as Chief of the Savages. Pretty cool.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all.
Okay, so we can't even talk to them.
Look at that. The snakes come back.
And the snakes come with good news. I talked Reed into leaving. Come back to Edgewater.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be.
The board.
It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward.
Edgewater's better off with you running the place.
You're telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Take care. All right. And everything's in good shape now. Now, is she...
One of us want to go see what happened?
Okay, here comes Adelaide. I'm going to see... Is she going to go talk to her people? Nope.
Sorry.
Yeah, we won't forget Ludwig. Thank you, Leilani, for bringing... I knew there was one more mission that we needed to do. Yeah, that'll help the soil as well. But I mean, let's just get a permission form or something. You know what I mean? Like, instead of burying you, we're gonna go ahead and use you as fertilizer. You know, just some release forms. You know. Ludwig.
Never seen the Vale lit up like this before.
Found your logic module in the geothermal plant.
Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Thank you, Ludwig. You take care now. All right. Yeah, the chat is a little bit backed up. I apologize, guys. I don't know what's going on with the upload speed. That normally does not happen. But we're going to go ahead and fast track over to the unreliable. About as unreliable as my internet. When indentured servants are freed, anarchy soon follows. Oh, I wonder if this is where we can go ahead and recruit.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship. Working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling.
Well, I can understand you not wanting to go back. You didn't seem particularly happy in Edgewater.
Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
You know, you just met me. Why would you want to go into space with a stranger?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Edgewater was on the verge of collapse before you showed up. You sent them power, and now the town might see another season. And you talked Miss McDevitt into coming back to town. Maybe one day, Edgewater will have a garden where that cannery once stood. You ain't exactly a stranger anymore. You done some kindness hereabouts. I wouldn't mind following somebody like that.
You really want out of Edgewater that badly?
Yeah, I really do. My whole life's been small. I realized that when you walked into town. I've been seeing the same faces every day, the same sky, the same stars. Then I saw this ship. This gorgeous, stately lady with her eyes turned skyward, and I made up my mind to come along with you.
It was love at first sight. Well, I'd be glad to have you along. You pick a cabin. It's yours.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
All right. Let's go ahead and board. And no, we don't need to talk to the deserters. When we went ahead and got Adelaide taken care of, that wiped that part. Like, we don't have any missions other than to board the Unreliable.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together. I hope you rest well on that.
Alrighty.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain?
I have a power regulator, Ada.
Do you know how to install a power regulator?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
I'll be back. And up we go. It's alive! Alive! Good stuff. Also like that we have HAL 9000 right here as well.
What can I do for you, Captain?
I've installed the power regulator, Ada.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
You hold on first. I need to take care of something first. There's no telling with that, Lilani. Pretty random. Okay, we can't actually go into any of these areas, and the Vicar is just hanging out, so... Let's go ahead and take off into space. Oh.
Easy.
I did not see those lockers the first time we were here.
Welcome back, Captain. All systems are now operating within acceptable parameters. Shall I take our ship into orbit?
Let's get out of here, Ada. Against all odds, the Unreliable takes flight. I love the design for that ship, though. That's very cool. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the Serenity's design from Firefly, at least certain portions of the ship. This one, though, looks great. Too cool for school. And I believe now we'll be able to...
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Well, that's good. I've been waiting to hear from him.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
Well, I have been feeling a little lightheaded. Also, I can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Why exactly do I need a nav key to land on a planet?
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
Right. The Black Marketeer. Can I land somewhere outside of Stellar Bay, though?
In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Kelly.
And about this Gladys person. How do I know I can trust her?
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
Well, fine. I'll go have a word with Gladys then.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
So you want to explain to me what a holographic shroud is?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
People actually fall for this? Seems a bit far-fetched.
Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected.
True.
Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you.
But you mentioned that this thing has limitations.
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
And why exactly do I need a gadget like this? Couldn't I just steal a uniform or something?
A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath.
Oh. How the hell does a hologram sweeten your breath?
Science, that's how.
Well, I'll go ahead and put it to good use. Thanks.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Got it. Well, to tell you the truth, guys, we are here on our ship. I'm very happy that we got to this point. I thought we were going to spend a lot longer in the power plant, but I was able to remember a lot. But due to the fact that we are having some issues with the internet, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here because my upload speed is just gone. But I do want to thank you guys very much for watching. If you haven't followed the Twitch channel, please do so. I try and stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays and random times during the weekend. And if you're watching the replay of this on YouTube, I have a link to the Twitch channel in the description below. Like, share, subscribe. You guys know the drill there. And we will see you next time. Later days, everyone.